All right, sleep friends, I'm going to give you a new buzzword, a new fun word that you probably haven't heard before. It's somniphobia. And that is right. It is the fear of falling asleep. And no, this is not similar to FOMO, the fear of missing out, although many times people may not want to go to sleep because they don't want to miss out on something. This is actually, I have this fear that when I close my eyes, that something bad is going to happen. And unfortunately, this is a diagnosis that although we don't necessarily make too commonly, we observe very frequently. I would say in pediatric somniphobia is something that we do commonly encounter. And many times children just don't have the right words to be able to appropriately characterize what it is. Many times parents may misinterpret this as just bedtime resistance, and they may even be labeled as bedtime resistance insomnia. But the fact of the matter is that the true thing that is driving this fear of going to sleep, it could be the fear of the monsters under the bed. It could be that there's a nightmare disorder. It could be a call to action to have a very, very serious concern about a child's safety. The fear of that child is having a negative social experience at home, such as sexual abuse, should be something to consider. Now, somniphobia is not limited to the pediatric age group. Somniphobia is also something that can occur in the adult world. This is not a symptom that I don't uncommonly see, especially when talking about my patients or people who I partner with who have a diagnosis of something like narcolepsy, where there is a high likelihood of having REM dissociative features. So REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep is the period of sleep where you may have sleep atonia or REM atonia. And so a person may experience something that as they're falling asleep or waking up, they get frozen or stuck. They also are going to be high likely to have very vivid dreams. And sometimes those are nightmares. And so very vivid nightmares. These nightmares can sometimes almost feel like reality. And therefore they're having sleep related hallucinations. They're hearing things, seeing things, feeling things that aren't really there. Individuals, again, may be mistaken as a bedtime or sleep initiation insomnia with excessive daytime sleepiness because they're resisting going to sleep at the time that they should be because of the fear of recurrent sleep paralysis, sleep related hallucinations, nightmare disorder. And of course, you're sleepy during the day because of the fact that you're not sleeping well at night. Oh, there's no worries about that. We're just going to give you this pill to fall asleep. This is the worst thing that you can do for someone with somniphobia. You are now removing the ability for them to have any control over whether or not they can go to sleep on their own, and therefore can actually be even something that heightens the likelihood of them having a harder time falling asleep and having a greater degree of fear because the thing that they were afraid of, they now are being forced into. The call to action when you're experiencing someone who has somniphobia is number one, really trying to understand what is it that is at the basis of their fear. That is going to now provide you the right direction of the diagnostic and therapeutic interventions that are going to be necessary. In many of these individuals, if not all, psychology partnership is going to be really critical. Whether it's due to nightmare disorder and doing things like imagery rehearsal therapy or some other form of cognitive behavioral therapy that may be helpful in being able to reframe the dream experience and being able to emotionally manage so that sleep is something that is more acceptable to experience versus being able to appropriately diagnose something like narcolepsy that may be driving. And then finally, making sure that you're not missing something where an individual actually is experiencing a purposefully intentional harm that you may have the opportunity to intervene on. So when looking at somniphobia, don't look at it as something that's just, oh, a nuisance and they just need to get over it. It is something that really can represent a critical opportunity to improve not only sleep, but also the safety of the individual experiencing it.